I'm Madison Fanning and I'm an ARC 531 student. Last time you saw me, I was analyzing my Project 1, which was Victor Gilliam's A Thing Well Begun is Half Done. Looking at that map, it made me realize that everything we analyze all has to do with our perspective on the information that we have. This made me think deeper about a piece of art we actually have in downtown Spokane. So in order to look further, I wanted to gather information to then really analyze this piece of work. So now we're standing at what used to be Havermale Island, which is now known as Riverfront Park in Spokane, Washington. This was the location of the 1974 World's Fair. As we can see from the map, Spokane is just hours away from many national parks to include Mount Olympic, Mount Rainier, and the Northern Cascades National Parks to the west. The road that is seen cutting through Spokane is actually Interstate 90, which goes across the United States from Seattle to Boston. This expo was one to be remembered because it was the first World's Fair with an environmental theme. Spokane became the smallest city to ever host a World's Fair. The community used the opportunity to revitalize the depressed downtown district. The Great Northern Railroad Depot, which had occupied the centrally located Havermale Island for the better part of a century, was torn down. In its place, Spokaneites erected many buildings and open outdoor spaces, the seeds of which would later become Riverfront Park as we see. Looking at the map from the original Expo grounds, the largest structure at the fair was the USA Pavilion, which is seen behind me here. This was constructed by the federal government with a design concept from Herb Rosenthal. There were quite a few notable exhibits, to include the Great Northern Clock Tower, which we can see is still standing today. In keeping with the environmental theme of the show, the structure was built to resemble a giant tent with grass and trees on the inside, and visitors were shown displays about the environmental concerns of the day. The expo ran from May to November, bringing over 5.6 million people to this site from around the world. After the fair closed, the fairgrounds were then transformed into this 100-acre riverfront park as we see today. By the end of the 1970s, the cloth cover that had encapsulated the USA Pavilion was removed. With the expo now over and the fairgrounds transformed, it was uncertain what would become of this left-standing pavilion and its function. In 2014, Spokane citizens overwhelmingly approved a $64 million bond to improve and redevelop Riverfront Park, including the pavilion. After the design team did more research into costs of their proposal ideas, it was decided that partial covering would be best because there was a significant unknown risk in design options that provide a full cover. To determine if the existing facility could even support a full cover, it would have cost $500,000 and could have taken up to a year to complete the study. Moving forward, the design team recommended a partial shade/rain cover that would provide shelter of varied activities and programming. The shelter covers are in sections and may be retractable, allowing flexibility for the space's use and the ability to move them for different events or weather conditions. The master plan budget for the pavilion was $24 million, or about 37% of the total renovation budget. Construction began right away in 2017 and was completed in August of 2019. The new design was focused on this being a multifunctional space and an extension of the park. The structure serves as a venue for events and passive recreational area for park guests. To support this dual purpose and enhance the iconic image of the pavilion, the project's final design solution involved reconnecting the Spokane River with the structure, creating opportunities to achieve elevation within the structure, not only for the views, but for experience of reaching elevation. The final design added shade elements to make the outdoor venue more comfortable, and the use of light for dramatic effect emphasized the structure's elegant framework. In March 2025, the City of Spokane's Park Board approved a naming rights partnership with Gesa Credit Union. Now known as the Gesa Pavilion, it holds 5,100 seats and it serves as a central hub for entertainment, cultural activities, and family-friendly events. At night, the sky is illuminated by changing lights of the pavilion and seen from all over downtown. Thank you for joining me for my research on Project 2 and joining me for this historic adventure learning about the pavilion.